we start at CONCACAF Champions League. You want to rile me up. I think you lobbied for this to be at the top of the show because you know I'm a little bit riled up about this.
Yes, the CONCACAF Champions League is off and running this year. We had an FS1 doubleheader last night, round of 16 first leg action. You called the first match alongside Keith Costigan. It featured Haitian side Violette against Austin FC. This match played in the Dominican Republic due to the situation in Haiti. And Violette came away with a stunning 3-0 victory. What the heck did you make of this one?
All right, so before I get into the actual game, a little peek behind the curtain with my friend Keith Costigan and your friend. And by the way, Keith is incredible at what he does. He is a real talent in terms of broadcasting games and just being in front of a microphone, and the love of his game, of the game, and the knowledge of the game really shines through. And so it's always a pleasure and a privilege to be able to work with him. I am a studio rat, okay? It's where I think I do my best work. It's where I feel the most comfortable. But I did start doing games when I first started doing television, and it's a very, very different type of performance. And so you have to kind of move your mind. And, you know, I certainly can get rusty like anybody else, and anything else in life. The more you do it, the better off you are. And so thanks to Keith for kind of pulling me through as I came back into the world of calling games. And it is fun, but like I said, it's a different type of performance. You have more time and theoretically more space, but what you say is very different than what you're going to say on the when you're at the studio sitting at the desk doing the stuff that I usually do. But it was really, really interesting to call this game. We came on air, and Mosse, I'm going to give kudos to you because you helped us prepare. And for Austin, it's not a problem. We've seen this team, and there's plenty of information out there. For Violette, it was a problem to get as much information as we possibly could. And you're wonderful at culling it from whatever sources that you have, translating it from all sorts of different things, and making us feel as prepared as we possibly could for a team that can't even play at home in Haiti because of the political situation. So they're playing all of their games in the Dominican Republic, where they have actually been training. And after this first game, which we'll talk about in a second here, the second game is in peril right now because of the political situation and the problem with getting visas and the fact that Haitian passports aren't recognized. So there's all sorts of stuff and challenges going on off the field, not the least of which is getting information on the players. But ultimately, the whistle blew. This is Austin's first time in this tournament, the CONCACAF Champions League. I was excited to see what they would look like because this represents progress. This represents a team that has ambition, all right? Any team thinks about themselves and their brand, not just domestically, but globally, internationally. And this is what teams want to be a part of. And Austin came out and shit the bed. There's no other way to say it. It was ultimately an embarrassing performance for Josh Wolf, the head coach, for the team that was on the field, for this organization, and for Major League Soccer. Is it insurmountable, the hole that they have dug for themselves, losing 3-0? I don't think so, but this was not a good look for anybody involved. And for me and Keith, it was not something that we, or let's be honest, anybody saw coming. And hats off to this team who came in with all of these challenges and were able to ultimately get not just a result, but a historic result with Violette. And they scored again. They scored in the same way. They recognized weakness. They had the tactical and technical ability to consistently go down, for example, a left-hand side, and they made Austin look like a bunch of boys running around on a youth team.
It was a Shadi double and then a Tarek own goal, which accounted for the scoring. I do think if Austin play their strongest lineup next week and go pedal to the metal for 90 minutes, they still should definitely go through. They should beat this team 4 or 5-0 at home. Would you agree?
Yeah, exactly. And Keith and I, when we were talking at the end of the game, nothing said that this was done. Also, nothing said that this wasn't an embarrassment in terms of what happened. And this gets into a whole lot more about taking it seriously. and recognizing the opportunity and the responsibility that you have. And look, I understand we can throw out all sorts of excuses. It's early in the season. You're rotating players, load management, whatever. Okay, but none of that matters to me. Austin spends way more money, has way more talent, has way more depth, and yet in that moment, they did not show that. And that is on the organization, and as I said, that's on Josh Wolf for deciding, hey, we're going to play a B team. We're not even going to bring someone like Gyasi Zardes. We're not going to start our designated players. And you got what you deserved because it was, I think, ultimately disrespectful to your opponent, disrespectful to the tournament, and disrespectful to your own organization, ultimately what you did. Now, I know I'm getting riled up here because I wear my MLS and U.S. soccer heart on my sleeve. And I don't like when I see something like that. It's not good for these teams. It's not good for the league. Now, they can go back, and like you said, they have plenty of talent, and it would not surprise me in the least if they were able to overcome this. But I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses, because you know who didn't have excuses? The other MLS teams that found a way to get results against, all right, okay, for some of them, okay opposition, and for others, some pretty good opposition. We were recording this on Wednesday. There's still more games to come tonight and tomorrow night with MLS teams featuring Vancouver and LAFC. But the big shock and ultimately the big disappointment was this Austin team.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.